It's your boy King Hussle. Yes, it's the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you will be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is put the title on every video. Once you put the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right. Got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for. All right. And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members. And we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you tired of being a zero? You ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos, you know, get them notifications. There's going to be some information that's going to help you win or keep you entertained or keep you educated. So with that being said, we talking about these new methods that's going on in today's world. A lot of these methods are surrounding banks. A lot of these methods has to do with identity theft. A lot of these methods has to do with there's a lot going on in today's world with these scams and these methods. And there's a lot of people who are entering this world and it's becoming oversaturated. So it's almost like every two people you see, one of them scamming. It's almost to that point. So that being said, we're gonna be talking about some new scams that's going on pertaining to identity theft and pre-built CPNs and loans, credit cards, and lines of credit. And a lot of people are committing this type of fraud because it's an easy way for somebody to get quick funds fast. Now, when it comes to banks, banks are the number one institute that deals with money. You can just hold your money, they give you money, all different type of things in different forms, loans, credit cards, lines of credit. And to be able to get these type of products, you have to have the right information on documentations. You have to have the right credit profile or the right credit worthiness. So we're gonna fast stop, pause it right there. We're gonna jump back to 2000, what, 1920. And before 2019-20, nobody was really talking about business credit. Nobody was really talking about credit at all. Nobody really cared about credit. Most people in the world said, why do I need credit? Because I got money. That's the mentality that most people had in the world. But then COVID-19 came and PPP loans were presented to people with businesses. And then people got millions of dollars. And they had a forgiveness part where you didn't have to pay back the funds if you filled out the forgiveness part and everything was up on the up and up. So a lot of people are simple minded. And I'm just going to start keeping it real because all that sugar coat stuff is starting to irritate me because a lot of people who don't got a common sense, there's a lot of people who just slow out there in the world. And it's just how it is. And it's real frustrating how people really don't have the right intellectual brain to think the right way. So people were introduced and started learning about PPP loans. So now they see that all these businesses and people get millions of dollars and don't got to pay it back. So now, so after people seeing that, now people saying, "Oh, I want to start a business and get millions of dollars," and then they start coming to me like, "So what's some more PPP loans out there?" PPP loans and forgiveness was a one in a lifetime thing. There is no such thing as another PPP loan. So when people come to me asking like, "What's another PPP loan program?" Or it's like, bro, y'all just that's very frustrating for people to even have that mentality to when they tell you it's a one lifetime thing you've never heard of and never seen it and never will, and they what's another PPP loan program, and you only start a business because you think you're gonna find another program like this and get millions of dollars. You're goofy. So people don't use their people don't have common sense. I'm not even gonna say use it because if they did, they use it. That's what it's for. So people lack common sense. So a lot of people started businesses and got under this impression that, oh, I'm finna get millions of dollars with this business. And a lot of people start to understand and see how business credit can actually get you a lot of money. And people start learning more about the field, credit. People just in general start seeing how credit can help you get the bag. So everybody want to start a business now. Everybody got the business here, got a business there. And before everybody wanted the business, this method has been going on before COVID-19, before 2020, before everybody wanted to do it. This loophole has been around for a very long time. It's just now it's popularized. And once it gets popularized, then things start to burn out. So people have been basically identity theft and CPNs, depending on what's going on. So people, and now let me rewind it back a little bit more. Like I tell you, wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed. And as as long as these companies, these banks, these businesses, and the government makes it easier for people to do certain things, as 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 like far as getting bank accounts, getting loans, credit cards, lines of credit, getting certain things, they're making it easier for the scammers and the fraudsters to be able to do the exact same thing. So back in the day, you couldn't open up a bank account online. You couldn't apply for a credit card online. You couldn't do these things online. Now you can do anything and everything online. So you can apply for a bank account online. You can apply for a credit card online. You can do all these things online. So you got people that saying, okay, let's lay down the blueprint right here. In order to get a bank account, you have to have identity. In order to get loans, credit cards, and lines of credit, you got to have an identity attached to a credit profile that's structured the right way that shows that this credit profile, this person can manage money. So, how can we do this? So, you got people who say, okay, I know this technique, this method will work if I had somebody's identity because in cases it will. If you got this, a scammer or fraudster has somebody's fools or profile, their information, it's easy for them to go open up a bank account online because there's places on the internet where you can print or make spoof or prank IDs and things like that, and they look actually real. And when they open up bank accounts on the internet, that's all they ask for is a picture of your ID and stuff like that. So people open up fraudulent bank accounts with other people's identity. Once they open up the bank account, they might deposit small funds into that account, start maturing that account. Then they apply for loans, credit cards, or lines of credit, depending on that person's credit profile that they have. And they do this at multiple banks. They order checks and they do whatever that they can to utilize that pre-built CPN, which is just basically identity theft because it's somebody else's credit profile to be able to retrieve these funds. And people got to understand that when you are utilizing this method, what identity theft, utilizing somebody else's credit profile, people gotta understand that people be having like alerts set up and things like that, like and emails and securities because of the world that we live in right now. So when people utilize identity theft, it's almost a dead end because most people get caught when, if not everybody, get caught when they're doing some type of identity theft. Even if it's getting a small apartment with these pre-built CPNs, they always get caught. So people utilize other people's identity to do things, but then it always backfires. They don't utilize CPNs, which is not identity theft because this number is not attached to anybody. It's a whole new number and profile with that person's information. So my name is John Smith. That's what it's going to say. Everything's going to be the same with the birthday, the number. I mean, with the number and the address on the profile. And they take their time and they establish it, build it, mature it, and they do certain things. Now you got people who get CPNs and open up businesses, and they because in order to build a business and get a business, you don't need your personal credit. You don't need to utilize your personal credit profile. You just need like an entity to like own the business. So people get CPNs, they create them, and add they try merge it, add little trade lines just to get it established, and then they open up a business. Boom. Not utilizing their personal credit, but they just using the personal credit to be over the business. They start the business, they build the business credit up, and they start to get loans, credit cards, and lines of credit, and they start um, basically running up the business credit because it's the same thing. You get credit cards, you can get cash advances off these credit cards. So you got $10,000 business credit cards. That's $100,000. You get $5,000 off each of them. That's $50,000 in cash you got. Then you pay the minimum on each card. You'll get the $10,000 right back, and they keep repeating the process. Then they paying credit cards with credit cards. So you paying debt with debt. That's the move that people do when it comes to business credit in these CPNs and getting loans, credit cards, and lines of credit. Like I said, there's different methods out there. There's different scams. There's different avenues. Everybody doesn't do the exact same thing. And another thing, people got to understand the difference between a scam, of scamming, fraud, and hackers. Those are three different things and three different people who do three different things. Scammers are people who social engineer, trick, or manipulate somebody into sending their own money with their authorization. A fraudster is somebody who goes into somebody's account or takes somebody's money without their authorization. A hacker is somebody who penetrates, gets into systems, and gets information to sell to the scammers and the fraudsters. So y'all gotta start understanding the difference between the three, because not understanding the three will have you thinking a lot of different things that aren't true, and it have you getting mad when things happen. FYI, banks only cover fraudulent activity, not scamming activity. So when people be getting scammed into sending money or giving the spoof text messages and calls to these fake banks and saying, "Hey, are you trying to send wire $2,000 out or do this and do that?" and they responded and giving the information, that's a scam. Banks is not gonna cover that, because once you authorize that one-time pass code and you put that in, all deals are off the table. You basically are on the other side looking in. It looks like you're authorizing all this. You're signing in. You're doing all this. So people got to be more aware and be more smart of the difference between scams, fraud, and hackers, because that will keep you more safe. That'll be keep you more aware and keep you more less vulnerable out here to these scams and fraud. There's a lot going on. Scam, text messages, calls every day, emails every day, social media platforms, profiles every day. It's everywhere we look, it's a scam or fraud going on. So like I tell you guys all the time, you gotta be more safe, be more cautious, and be more aware. Make sure you guys will get your Norton LifeLock to monitor all your financial and social media accounts to make sure no suspicious or fishy activity is going on. And it will monitor the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is floating around for people to buy and create these pre-built CPNs. So make sure you guys are getting your Norton LifeLock. Make sure you guys are freezing all three of your credit bureaus and profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience. Nobody can get anything in your name. Make sure you guys are getting new credit card and debit cards every so often with new numbers, new information. We tap, swipe, insert on a daily basis. And most people keep their cards for the duration of until it expires. And just think about all the places that you didn't use that card. And every time we use that card, it's on a different database. And there's always a database compromise, leak, or hack that's going on. So make sure you guys every so often is getting new credit card numbers. I mean, new credit cards and debit cards with new numbers and information on it, because the old information no longer be valid. And if it was a compromised leak or hack where that information was stored, it won't work. And you just keep yourself safe, right? So make sure you guys are getting your Norton LifeLock, freezing them credit bureaus, and changing out your debit and credit card numbers every so often, just to stay a couple steps ahead of the scammers in the process, because this is a crazy world that we live in, and these are real things that's happening on a daily basis, and most people are not aware because they're not educated on what's going on. So be more safe, be more cautious, and be more aware out there in this crazy world that we're living in. All right. So shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me keep going. Y'all motivate me keep dropping the sauce, and y'all motivate me keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke, because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime one-on-one limited gyms are $1,000, but for limited time only. I'm doing it for 600. Yes, 600 cash app or Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is on your cash app or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Also, make sure y'all book your seat on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays 250. Make sure y'all booking your seat on the crypto tour in person limited gyms 3,500. Make sure y'all booking your seat on the month long mentorship $1,000. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato Hat Millionaire Network. Still looking for people for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the notification bell on all my YouTube channels, my Twitches, my IGs, my TikToks, my Snapchats. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives. And make sure y'all getting in where y'all fit in with these hundreds dollar load ups. All right, Cash App Bitcoin. Send that screenshot when you're ready. Let's go from there. All right, don't miss out. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know how to get down in these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson video or live. Peace.